What is going on, guys? It's your boy, Dylan the Villain, and we're coming back once again with some more Total Extreme Wrestling. We are a little less than a week away. Well, we're a little over a week away from King of the Ring in the stave. I don't know about real life, but in the stave, we're almost to the King of the Ring, which is probably going to be one of our biggest pay-per-views of the year. I love King of the Ring. That is one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. I love King of the Ring. But before we get to King of the Ring, we still have some TV shows that we must do. We're in front of a sold-out crowd of 20,000 strong at the Rosemont Horizon Arena. And we kick open our pre-show of Shotgun Saturday Night when Mike Awesome defeats Rob Conway in less than 2 minutes by pinfall with an awesome bomb. He just goes out there and dominates him. Match got a 36. Getting Mike Awesome some more momentum, some more wins. He got a 54 and Conway only got a 16. Conway is not signed to us. He was a local talent local jobber that we hired for Mike Awesome just to run through. Nelson Quality and color commentary gave the match a boost. Mike Awesome benefited having a new move. And we go ahead and start the show. There has been a lot of hype that a former world champion is coming back. And it shows him. So, Bret Hart struggling to go off script. So, what we see here is we see Vince McMahon, and he's in the office with Shane McMahon, and they're arguing about something. Then all of a sudden, Bret Hart comes in, and he goes, "What the hell? What is this? What are you? Why am I being brung in here?" And Vince is like, "Well, I'm glad to see you." Shane's just like, "Look, I'm trying to go to bat for you, Bret. I really am. I'm trying really hard, but Dad is persistent, and his stubbornness will not listen to voice of reason. I mean, you have a pay-per-view title match defense against the WWF champion who never lost his title. You got to defend your title against him at the pay-per-view." Bret's like, "Look, I done told you I'm not worried about that guy. All right? I'm not scared of him. I'm not worried about him. I don't care. But you're telling me that I'm going to have to defend my title 2 times in 1 week?" And Vince is like, "Well, you see, the contract that was signed says that if the match ends in some type of disqualification, he is allowed a rematch." And Bret's like, "Yeah, once again, you're screwing me over, Vince. You're screwing me over. At least I know Shane has my back, but you, after all the hard work and dedication and loyalty that I gave to you, and you're just going to keep doing this to me, screwing me over like this?" And Vince's like, "Look, Bret, I'm not trying to screw you over at all. It's simple as a contract. You know, you signed the contract, so yeah, you're going to have to do your thing. Big Show's entitled to a rematch." And that, and Shane's like, "Well, you got guys like Sid and Vader who technically are entitled shots against Bret, and they haven't had their match." And Vince is just like, "Well, you see, Vader has lost against every single person he's been in the ring with, along with Sid. So if you think that they're in the top 5 at all, it's just ridiculous and asinine." And they start arguing, and all of a sudden you hear, "I've had enough of this." And you're like, what the heck? And in walks this man. He has a bald head. He has a goatee like that, you know. And it's Dwayne Gill. Dwayne Gill walks back. And we haven't seen Dwayne Gill since he's been viciously attacked by Vader as the World Heavyweight Champion. He was the former World Heavyweight Champion, and he was viciously attacked. He never lost his title. And he walks in there, and he goes, "I'm glad y'all been hyping my return for weeks now. And I'm glad to say that the real World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion is here." And all 3 men, Bret Hart, Vince McMahon, and Shane McMahon, they all look at Dwayne Gill and puzzlement, and they're confused, and they're just like, who are you?" And Dwayne Gill looks flabbergasted. He's like, "Who am I? I'm Dwayne freaking Gill. I'm the real world champion. Y'all been hyping my return for weeks now." And they're like, you? We're world champion? And he goes, yeah, I beat The Rock at WrestleMania to win my thing. My manager, Jim Cornette, was in my corner. And he's like, Jim Cornette was your manager? And he's just like, Dwayne Gill's like, y'all seriously don't remember that I'm world champion? And they're just like, I remember somebody winning the championship, but I couldn't remember who. I thought Bret had it since WrestleMania, Shane said. Vince is like, yeah, that was my understanding, that he won it against Austin at the pay-per-view. And he goes, no, it was me, Dwayne Gill. I won the Royal Rumble too. And they're just like, yeah, we don't know who you are. And he has the busted up, the WWF old Wayne Gill belt that's all busted up over his shoulder. And Vince is like, what is that? He's like, this is the real championship. This is the real WWF Heavyweight Championship. And Vince is just like, no, that is. And he points at Bret's title and everything like that. He's like, we gave this title to Bret because the old one was worn out and tore up. And he's like, yeah, this is it. This is the belt right here. He's like, y'all guys seriously don't remember who the hell I am? After all the blood and sweat and dedication that I put into this company? And Vince and Shane look at each other and just like, no, we have no clue. Like, we didn't even know you were a former world champion. And he's like, well, who else are you talking about as a former world champion? And Vince is like, well, he said he was supposed to be here tonight, but so far he hasn't shown up at the arena. And Bret's just like, look, you can keep that stupid idiot, right? You can just tell that stupid idiot to wait in line and wait his turn. I guess you're with your little plastic toy belt here, and Dwayne Gill's just like, this is real gold. And it has duct tape all over it and everything, like he's trying to super glue it and duct tape it back together and make it look presentable. As a real world championship, you know, after Vader destroyed it. Dwayne Gill's just like, I am the real champion. And Bret's just like, well, look, buddy, that's great and all that you're a real world champion, but it doesn't matter, okay? Because I'm the world champion. I'm defending my title at the pay-per-view against the former world champion who didn't lose his title. And he's like, I didn't lose my title. I'm supposed to be in the match. What the hell are you talking about? And Shane's like, look, buddy, all right? Look, you keep saying that you're the real world champion, okay? That you never lost your title. We don't even remember that you were the champion, all right? We don't even remember who you are. We don't even know who you are, all right? Your suit looks nice. Dwayne Gill's wearing like a nice tux, like Ric Flair and everything, like a real nice suit. You know, he made a big good payday off of his WrestleMania check and everything like that. And he's like, look, I'll tell you what, all right? He's just like, I remember some Vader telling me about some guy that he had problems with, and he destroyed him and beat him up and put him in the hospital. And Dwayne Gill's like, yeah, that's me. He's like, well, I'll tell you what. If you're the real world champion, he's like, why not tonight you defend your real world heavyweight championship against Vader? Right? And Vince is like sitting there and he's like, huh. Okay then. And Shane McMahon's just like, look, if Vader can beat you, then that will show that Vader can beat a real world champion. Therefore, giving Vader his #1 contendership matchup. And Vince is like, yeah, I don't see no problem with it. I mean, this guy doesn't even look like he can beat his own dick, let alone Vader, you know? And he's just like, I beat Vader multiple times. And they're just like, yeah, pal, whatever. He's like, well, just go get ready for your match. So that is that segment. Segment got 100. Dwayne Gill is back, and he's saying that he is the real world champion, but nobody believes him. Nobody even remembers who the hell he is. They don't even know who the hell he is or who he is. But Dwayne Gill is back. Dwayne Gill, as you know, won the Royal Rumble previously in our save. He eliminated Vader, was the last man he eliminated. Vader had a vengeance ever since then against him. Dwayne Gill also took Vader's manager, Jim Cornette, as his own. Maybe Jim Cornette can put some more light into who Dwayne Gill is, but for the meantime, it looks like Dwayne Gill is trying to take this taped up, beat up Wing Eagle belt and make it as it's saying that he's the real world champion I don't know. We're going to find out more about this. But tonight he will have to defend his real World Heavyweight Championship against Vader here tonight. And hopefully, if Vader wins, he is in line for a World Heavyweight title shot against Bret Hart. We're going to move on to the next segment. And it is our opening contest as we have our cruiserweight, our light heavyweight division. I am so sorry. Oh, somebody slapped me, boy. I almost slipped up there. Our light heavyweight division, we do not have cruiserweights. We have light heavyweights, okay? In a belt that had superb wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Ultimo Dragon defeated Jushin Thunder Liger once again in 13:28 by pinfall. Match got a 62. Ultimo with a 64 and Jushin with a 52. Color commentary and announcing gave the match a boost. We move on to our next segment. It was just a nice little opener match for our light heavyweight division. Yes. Steiner did an amazing job not following the script. He had the palm in his hand the whole time. And we get an interview from Michael Cole, and he's like, at this time, we have the Steiner brothers, and as soon as he walks on the screen, Scott just rips the mic out of Michael Cole's hand, and he gets right in the camera, and he goes, listen here! Weeks after weeks after weeks, we've been getting ripped off! We're the former World Tag Team Champions of the World Wrestling Federation, and I'm not going to sit here and watch these two dumbasses, these fat asses, who go around thinking it's Halloween with their face painted up, thinking that they can go around just beating anybody's ass that they want to. Well, they didn't beat my ass, and they didn't beat Rick's ass. They got lucky because we can't get on the same page. It's Rick's fault that I'm not the tag team champions anymore. And whew, that takes a little. Let me get a sippy sip of my drink here. Ooh, that tears up my voice doing that. And Rick's standing there, and he looks, he like when Scott's like, yeah, I blame Rick for the miscommunication and everything. Rick kind of looks at him and he's like, what the hell? He's like, it was your fault. And Scott continues to ramble on. He's just like, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of this little pencil neck geek right here. This skinny little fat ass right here. Look at this. Look at this. And he shows his muscles. He's like, look at that. And he looks at Rick and he's like, don't look at that. Look at me. Look at my muscles. I'm a genetic freak. Right? I go town to town. I go town to town. And I get the hose and I lay it down. Alright? Because nothing's funner than doing the 69er with a good old Scott Steiner. He's like, and tonight, we're going to show the world what we're the best tag team in the World Wrestling Federation. And I got a match set up against one of those painted face neck freak asshole clowns, fat asses. I'm going to show them. I'm not going to show them. Rick, you're going to show them. And you're going to put the paint on them. And we're going to get our tag team championship titles back around this fine waist right here. You can believe that? So how long did you hear me? And Magus technically got a 55. And we move on to that matchup as Road Warrior Animal takes on Scott Steiner. In a decent match, Scott Steiner defeats Road Warrior Animal by pinfall. Road Warrior Animal got a 66 and Scott with a 68. Not bad. The match got a 61 respectively. Not bad at all. Let me get another sip of my drink. Oh, goodness. Now saying the color commentary gave the match a boost. The match got a 61. Like we said, Scott Steiner defeats him by pinfall. He showed the world, and we move on to our next segment, which I believe it is a promo. And it is. And after the match, Scott Steiner did an amazing job without a script. The segment got a 64. And we see Scott Steiner in the middle of the ring, and he's celebrating. Rick Steiner comes out there, and he looks confused, and he's Scott Steiner grabs the microphone, and he's like, everybody knows that what I say when I come out here, that I'm going to deliver. Unlike my brother Rick, who lets all you fans down. I come out here, I say I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass. And he's just cutting and ranting and raving and looks like Rick's getting a little bit aggravated here. And he's trying to tell Scott to come on, and Scott's like, I'm still cutting my promo. You get down and get your ass back there and stay in your lane. Everything like that. And it looks like Scott and Rick are starting to push each other around the ring. Security comes out, and they back him up and stuff like that. And Scott still has a mic, and he's like, you think you're better than me, brother? I'm going to kick your ass, brother. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. You want something? Come on, let's go. And they're arguing and everything like that. And security separates, and we go to commercial. And we come back from commercial, and we have the Hardys taking on the Godwins. As we know, I believe it was Henry O'Godwin who ended up hurting his knee real bad not too long ago. He ended up hurting his knee, and he was out for about a month, and he's back now. I want to say it was a little over a month, but he hurt his knee, like he banged up his knee or some shit, and he was out for a while. In a poor match, the Hardy Boys defeat the Godwins when Matt Hardy pinned Phineas O'Godwin with a Omega event. Matt with a 70, Jeff with a 71. Phineas and Henry both with a 51 and a 50, kind of like the Hardy Boys here. Hardy's excellent tag team chemistry, tag team specialist bonus, and the Godwins with the tag team specialist bonus. Color commentary announcing gave the match a boost. Match got a 56. Hardys are benefiting, sticking around Raven. Their popularity, sticking with Raven, is going through the roof. They are slowly and surely getting super freaking popular. Being teamed up with somebody who can be on TV each week and cut promos and all that good stuff has really benefited them and helped them out a lot. So we might start giving the Hardys a little bit something more to do than just hang out with Raven in the future. But we'll see. We'll see. Next segment, and it is a promo of with Raven, and he's talking about Terry Funk. Talking about how most of the time I write out a promo, but I did not write out a promo for this. I'm just going to sum it up to save on time and get the main idea across. He cuts a promo about Terry Funk, talking about how he's defeated Cactus Jack once, like before. He's defeated Cactus Jack, but people says that Terry is still around. That Terry is still backstage. People are still idolizing Terry for the hardcore ways that he has, and he's confused on why people worship guys like that. He's beat the King of Hardcore, the King of the Death Matches. He's beat Cactus Jack. So why do people still say that Terry Funk is more hardcore than Raven, when Raven beat Cactus Jack at his own game? And people are still preaching Terry Funk, saying that Terry Funk's more hardcore than him, and he can't stand it. He can't stand it. He came here from ECW to take back the King of Hardcore, to prove that he is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best hardcore wrestler in the world. And once he claims that title of being the best hardcore wrestler in the world, he's going to end hardcore once and for all. That hardcore wrestling is nothing more than garbage. It's garbage. That's not real wrestling. Real wrestling is takedowns and slams and arm drags and figure four leg locks and suplexes and German suplexes and arm drags and DDTs and punches and kicks and arm drags, and he goes on and on about every little thing. About how hardcore wrestling is garbage. Like, anybody can get in the ring and hit them. Anybody can get in the ring and jump on thumbtacks. Anybody can climb a ladder and jump off of it. Anybody can do that. Anybody can be a glorified stuntman like Cactus Jack and Terry Funk. Right? So he wants to put an end to hardcore wrestling, and the only way he can do that is beating Terry Funk, but Terry Funk seems to want to hide. He wants to hide. He wants to run away. He wants to not show up at the shows because he knows that Raven is sitting in the darkness waiting to strike Terry Funk once and for all. So he's calling out Terry Funk, and he wants Terry Funk to answer. And he wants a match at King of the Ring and he wants to face Terry Funk in the same match that he defeated Cactus Jack in, Mick Foley, whatever you want to call him. He wants the same thing as Terry Funk. Same type of match that he had with Terry Funk. He wants the same rules. He wants to beat Terry Funk in the same rules that he's defeated Cactus Jack, and he wants to put it into Terry Funk just like he put it in to Cactus Jack. We move on to the next segment. And it is the match for the WWF True World Champion title. And Dwayne Gill defeats Vader with a surprise roll-up. Once again, Dwayne Gill makes defense number 1 of the WWF True World Championship title. The match got an 81, Vader with an 88, and Dwayne Gill with a 90. He basically, this match is pretty much Dwayne Gill's rules. He said there's no disqualification. Any means necessary to win this matchup, Dwayne Gill can use. Weapons, hardcore style of wrestling, without saying it's hardcore style of wrestling. But he can do anything. Falls count anywhere. Dwayne Gill runs away during the match. They end up backstage. He ends up doing something cheeky to Vader to end up getting the win and winning him. Dwayne Gill wins. He's holding the busted up World WWF Winged Eagle belt that's super glued and duct taped and looks like he wrote crayon all over it and everything like that. You know, there's pieces of cardboard to where the missing pieces of the title are and everything like that. Like, it just looks like a hunk of shit. The title just looks like a hunk of shit. And he holds it up and he's like, I did it! I won! I'm the real world champion! I'm the real world champion! I want my title match for my title! I want my match for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship! This is the WWF World Heavyweight Championship! Bret Hart, you're just a paperweight champion. I'm the real champion. You know, he's going on and on and on about how he's the real champion and everything like that. Dwayne Gill with a 90. He's super fucking... I made this guy super popular. Man, I pushed Dwayne Gill to the moon. But Vince and everybody else doesn't seem to remember who he is. But we move on to the next segment. Dwayne Gill winning the matchup. Ah, yes. All right. So here we are. As y'all know, Stephanie McMahon and The Rock has been getting quite friendly here lately with each other. And we know the rivalry between The Rock and Triple H. Stephanie McMahon is not married to Triple H. Stephanie McMahon is still young, and she has an eye for The Rock, as y'all know, for those of y'all don't watch it. And for those of y'all need to catch up on what's going on here. She knows her and The Rock's been getting friendly, and The Rock's taking her out to dates and everything like that. And we see them backstage, and she's like, Rock, I'm just cannot express how proud I am of you making it to the Final Four, to the King of the Ring. I can't express to you how proud I am of you and how much it means to me that you get to face Triple H once again in the Final Four. And The Rock's just like, well, Stephanie, you know, it means a lot that you've had my back and you supported me. Ever, you know, that you've supported me and been my friend this whole time, and I appreciate it. You're a beautiful young lady, and I'm glad that, you know, I can call you as a friend. And Stephanie's kind of like, well, I wish I could call you more than a friend, Dwayne. And The Rock's just like, well, Steph, you know, you are my boss's daughter, and I just don't think it would be professional of me to date you. And Stephanie's just like, well, he never has to find out, you know, like he never has to find out if we date each other and make this a serious relationship. And The Rock's just like, well, I'll have to think over it, you know, like this is a big decision, you know, I don't want to get in trouble for dating you and everything like that. And she's like, well, I know that Shane is not going to care if I date you, and Dad might have a problem with it, but you know, it like I'm of age, I'm old enough to make my own decisions and who I want to be with and who I don't want to be with. And I want to date you. And The Rock's just like, okay, well, I'm like, that's still a big decision. As much as I would love that, I need to think over it. And Stephanie's just like, well, I hope you don't have me waiting too long. And The Rock's just like, oh, I won't, you know? And she's just like, well, you can give me an answer after the King of the Ring. You know, like, whenever you do it, I know you got the King of the Ring coming up, and I know your mom's facing Triple H at the pay-per-view. So, you worry about that, you know, and get back to me then. And The Rock's just like, oh, okay, if that's what you want, you know. And Stephanie's like, yeah, you worry about your pay-per-view match. Beat Triple H like I want you to, and put Triple H in his place, because I'm tired of Triple H talking to me any which way, and I would like you to put some respect on Triple H and go on to win the King of the Ring and go on to SummerSlam and become the youngest WWF champion in history. And The Rock's just like, yeah, I plan on it. So Stephanie McMahon basically telling The Rock that she wants to take The Rock, and The Rock's just like, well, you know, I don't want to get in trouble with the boss. I'm going to have to think on it. Stephanie's just like, well, just worry about your match at the pay-per-view, and we'll discuss this after the pay-per-view. You know, just go on, win the pay-per-view, and everything like that. So we move on to the next segment. And it is Kane. Kane 97. Holy shit. Damn, Kane. I didn't think Kane was going to pull off that. Damn. Kane, in a bout that had good wrestling and good heat. Kane defeats Ahmed Johnson. As we know, Ahmed's been on a losing streak here with a choke slam. Kane with a 97. Holy shit. Ahmed Johnson with a in-ring performance of a 72. Kane and Ahmed have good chemistry. Yeah, and it lifted the match. That's good to know. And Kane defeats Paul, and Paul Bearer have good chemistry. As you know, Kane and Paul Bearer were kicked out of the Darkness, the Ministry of Darkness, by Sting for betraying his brother Undertaker in the matchup. Paul Bearer and Kane betrayed the Undertaker and basically screwed the Undertaker out of his match by giving Bret Hart the urn to control the Undertaker and everything like that. We move on to the next segment. As y'all know, as y'all seen, Undertaker called out Kane in an Inferno matchup at the pay-per-view. He wanted an answer. And Paul Bearer grabs the mic and he pretty much says, Undertaker, everybody knows that you were the one who set the funeral home ablaze and not only burned up your real mom and dad, but you also burned up your brother Kane. That's why he wears this hideous suit. That's why he hides his face behind a mask, because you burned him. And you try to blame everything on him and say that you didn't do it and all that stuff. Well, who's people going to believe? You have turned your back on the World Wrestling Federation and the man who made you famous and made you a megastar in the eyes of the fans all around the world, and you're going to turn your back on him, and not only turn your back on him, but kill his wife and torture his son and family and daughter and everything like that, and hurt his family. How dare you, you know? And you want the fans to believe that it was actually Kane who killed your family? Ha, what a joke. The reason why we turned our back on you was because I couldn't oddly sit by and watch you destroy something else that your brother Kane loves. Your brother Kane loves being here in the World Wrestling Federation, and he doesn't want to see the World Wrestling Federation come to an end, unlike you and your buddy Sting from the other company from down south, you know. So you want an Inferno match at the pay-per-view. Oh yes, you want an Inferno match. Well, you just signed your own death warrant, Undertaker, because not only will you go to hell, but when Kane's through with you, you'll wish you would never ever sign your own death warrant. Oh yes. And the segment got 100. So at the pay-per-view, it will be Kane versus The Undertaker in an Inferno match. What a matchup that will be. At King of the Ring, it will be Kane versus The Undertaker in an Inferno match. All because they turned their back. They got kicked out of the group by Undertaker and Sting for turning their back on The Undertaker at the pay-per-view. Undertaker and Sting basically have their sights out for Kane, who betrayed them But they have not forgot about their main mission of putting an end to the World Wrestling Federation and the McMahon family. We move on to the next segment here. And it is a contest between Davey Boy Smith and Goldust. Davey Boy Smith defeats Goldust by submission. It was supposed to be by pinfall, but okay. Kane got a better match rating than Davey Boy Smith, man. Holy crap. And I've been pushing Davey Boy to the moon. For no particular reason. But Davey Boy with a 93 and Goldust with an 88. They are two of my biggest stars on the show here. They're some of my biggest stars in the company. I would love to show y'all my roster without spoiling stuff one day. I might do that. I might check the roster after the show, off camera of course, and see if there's any spoilers or any of that nature, like people who are supposed to debut. And I'd show off the roster and show y'all how many major stars I have in the company that I pushed, and people who are considered major stars here. The wrestling industry is booming. I know I got off topic here. The wrestling industry is booming, and I just put people on 2 pay-per-views, and their fucking popularity jumps 20 fucking points, and I don't understand that sometimes. But segment got an 80. No storyline was associated with it. That's pretty much why it got an 80. Davey Boy with a 93 and Goldust with an 88. We have seen a new Goldust here, but he lost his King of the Ring match, and now he loses this match, which is quite sad. But we have seen a new Goldust, as we found out a few weeks ago. For those of y'all watching, for those of y'all keeping up with it, it's been about a month ago. But for those watching, we found out a few weeks ago that Goldust was having an affair with Chyna. And my backstage has slowly starting to crumble here. There's certain guys, I won't mention any names, but there's certain feuds that are happening backstage and certain guys who do not like each other anymore. So we might have to send people away or let people go, depending on the circumstances here. But my backstage has went from a 93 to about a 70-something over Goldust and Chyna having an affair here, which at the time was pretty hilarious and funny, and I had big plans for it. But we might have to let some people go here in the future if things do not get better. I'm trying my hardest to make the situation cool over, make everything, try to get people to get along with each other, and so far it's not going out too good. I had to suspend Chyna because Chyna got into a backstage pretty much an what's the word I'm looking for? A fight, I guess. An argument, a fight with Goldust's ex-wife, Melina. And Chyna ended up beating up Melina pretty bad. We gave Melina some time off, and we suspended Chyna for the meantime. If that situation does not get better, then we are probably, if it happens again, I'm going to have to let Chyna go. I know I'm breaking the fourth wall here, but I'm just letting y'all know what's going on with that. So we're going to move on to the next segment. And it is, I figured this was going to do better. And it did not. It's weird. Stone Cold's usually, I guess I let Big Show talk. Big Show is terrible at talking. I guess I'll let him talk too. But anyway, before the main event tonight, which as y'all know, Big Show is rewarded his rematch from Monday Night Raw against Bret the Hitman Hart here tonight. Their first match ended when Sid and Vader came out, and basically giving Big Show a rematch here. But we see Steve Austin before the Big Show match.
Who told you? Oh.
Yeah. What's up?
Nothing?
Anyway, we see the Big Show Austin stops the Big Show before the Big Show goes to the ring. And he goes, "Hey, kid, just want to let you know I'm wishing you luck out there." Big Show's like, you know, he has that look on his face and he really doesn't say anything. And Austin's just like, "You're one hell of a competitor. And when you win this match, it ain't if you win this match, it's just that when you do win this match, just so you know, I want to be the first person you defend that World Heavyweight Championship against." And Big Show smiles and he's just like, "You got it." You know? So the friendship between Austin and Big Show is not one of friends, but as of mutual respect for one another. And this segment basically shows that they're not the best of friends, but they have a mutual respect for each other. And basically, Austin wishing Big Show good luck before his title match here tonight. We're going to go ahead and move on to that title match tonight. In a bout that had 84. I forgot to put a fucking storyline to it. Dang it. Oh, man. In a bout that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat, Bret Hart defeated the Big Show by pinfall with a handful of tights. Bret Hart makes defense number 3 of the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Basically what happens, this match should have did absolute banger. I forgot to put a storyline to it. Damn it. I do that from time to time. I forget to associate a storyline with it. But the referee goes down during the match. And Bret Hart cheats. You know, he hits Big Show with a chair. He cheats. And basically that's what's supposed to do. Not a handful of tights, but he basically cheats to beat the Big Show. And he beats Big Show, but he beats Big Show clean, 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Bret Hart does not win by disqualification or count out or any underhanded. I mean, he beat the Big Show, but he basically had to use a chair to beat the Big Show and cheat to beat the Big Show. But he beat the Big Show. And after the match, Bret Hart is in the middle of the ring. I wish I would have waited on this one. Bret Hart is in the middle of the ring. Then all of a sudden, we hear Joom, 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 joom. Woo, woo, woo. We hear Shawn Michaels' theme music hits. We haven't seen Shawn Michaels since he had to vacate the World Heavyweight Championship after the Royal Rumble because he said he had some back problems that he had to attend to. Then Shawn Michaels makes his way out to the ring. He's standing on the ramp, and Bret Hart is looking there. He's looking shocked. He's looking aggravated. He's looking pissed off that his old rival Shawn Michaels is back in the World Wrestling Federation. We have thought we have seen the end of Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels is basically saying that he had to retire. But it looks like Shawn Michaels is back. What does Shawn Michaels have to do with Bret the Hitman Hart? Is Shawn Michaels the man that Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon said was coming back? Not Dwayne Gill. As we've seen, it definitely wasn't Dwayne Gill. So it has to be Shawn Michaels who is back to face Bret the Hitman Hart at the King of the Ring pay-per-view for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. What a matchup. Hopefully we get more on Monday Night Raw. We're going to go ahead and finish the show. 89. Yeah, the main event should have did a lot better if a storyline was connected to it. But at 89, I'm not complaining with the 89. The show increased our popularity in 14 regions. Would have increased our popularity in Canada in 7, but we need to get a better TV deal for Canada. We're going to go ahead and finish the show. Jim Duggan is currently the WCW World Television Champion. And that is the end of this one, guys. Let's go ahead and look. We have a decision. Hopefully, it's somebody that I signed and not somebody who is on drugs, because I would hate that. But I don't remember signing anybody. But anyway, guys, that has been WWF Shotgun Saturday Night. Thank y'all for watching the video. Thank y'all for leaving a like. For those of y'all do leave the likes, it helps out the channel a lot. Tremendously. Helps out our channel a lot. If you are new to the channel and like what you see and want to subscribe, the subscribe button will be right here. And if you need to catch up on previous episodes, the playlist will be right here in the last night results. Go back and watch previous episodes that you missed, the catch up on everything. And like always, guys, this is your boy Dylan Villain, and next to me is my friend Sky Wutai. And like we always say, if you can't play with each other,
Play with yourself.
See y'all in the next one.